course, I don't think anybody is watching just yet, but that's all right. You know, the cool thing about doing this, from my perspective, is it doesn't really matter if anybody's watching. So my expectations are pretty much non-existent. If this turns into something that people like and want to tune into regularly, well, that's cool. But, you know, having done this just the one time the other day, you gotta say, I like it about as much, or actually maybe more than I thought I would, to be honest. There's something about the video diary type idea, just kind of getting thoughts off your chest, letting your mind roam free. You know, conversation is really the way we think. And so if you have conversation, even if it's with yourself, that can be pretty helpful. So as I was kind of talking about a little bit on Monday, been nursing a bicep tendon problem, and so it's really painful to press, moderately painful to bench press, normal. So I've been doing close grip bench instead, which basically gives me no discomfort. Still gets a little bit, or still gets a lot of the tricep, more than the normal bench, you know. Still gets a good bit of the chest, the pec. It takes a little bit of pressure off the shoulder. Takes a little bit off the pressure off the front delt, and in my case, took a lot of the pressure off of the bicep tendon that crosses over the shoulder. So, which has been helpful. And now that we're back benching normally, so my close grip bench press goes back to what it was originally, which was an accessory work. Oh yeah, I'm tired today. I am tired today. So we go nice and close. Not much else changes. I mean, you're gonna. Ooh, feels heavy. So again, we're doing paused, close grip. The pause, like we were talking about on Monday, it's just a nice way to get some stress with some lower weight, or and now as it's what it's really getting to with my close grip, because today I'll be doing a close grip set of 5 paused at 247.5. So that's actually pretty damn heavy. I mean, shit, man. I weigh like 140 pounds. So, but what I can still do though is I can lay off a little bit on the volume because I'm getting a lot of stress by taking out the stretch reflex there with the pause. So, so it's good. It allows me to get some work done, but I don't have to hit nearly as much volume. So I'm doing 5 warm-up sets, and again, not the traditional type of warm-up where you kind of, you know, start with 5s and end on a single or something like that, and then go to your work set. But we're going to do ascending sets, 5 sets, 5 reps, warming up, gradually building up to the work set. So 6 total sets, only one of them technically being a work set, although, as I was saying on Monday, I'm going to load the back end heavy. So we're 135, 185, 205, 225, 235, and then 247 and a half. So those last 3 are pretty heavy. So I can try to get as much work as I can, even though the volume itself is not terribly heavy. Excuse me, not terribly high. It's a new mic, significantly better than the one I had the other day, but hopefully where I'm wearing it on my shirt collar is not giving you a whole bunch of bullshit feedback. Yeah, again, not that it matters too much. Oh man, tired today. Kids, they wear you out, man. And I'll tell you, today they wanted to roughhouse my son and daughter both. Usually it's just my son, but today the daughter wanted in on it as well. Beat up on old dad, and it wears you out, but I'm here for it. 100% here for it. I mean, that's one reason to keep training, right? So you can withstand the onslaught from the little ones. But it's good. And I'll tell you that you don't, that's pushed me more than anything. You know, I want I'm a small guy, so I I've always been really, really enamored, I guess maybe is a good word, with the idea that I could get big and strong. Not necessarily any taller, of course. And so that's been the catalyst for my training for many years. Getting big, getting strong, being more resilient, and a lot of it certainly was aesthetic driven, but now it's more of a resilience driven. I want to be around for my kids in case, you know, God forbid some other crazy ass shit happens to me, you know. But I also want to show them that you can withstand and, you know, not just get by, but to thrive, even with setbacks that seem major. It doesn't have to stop you. It might slow you down and might change your course a bit, but it doesn't have to stop you. sure how many I did there, to be honest. But one extra, it's not a big deal. Frankly, one less, it's not a great big deal either. Yeah, for those of you watching, don't really know too much of the backstory. Lost my leg in 2019, November 2019, and November 22nd to be exact. And the real rub is my wife was 9 months pregnant at the time with our firstborn, sweet baby girl. And so, you know, I get hit on the 22nd of November, and my daughter comes to us on the 3rd of December. So very tight timeline, for sure. But you know, in a lot of ways, it was lucky, because you want to talk about a kick in the ass to push you, and you know, force you to kind of get yourself right so you can keep moving on, and a child will do that to you. Yeah, for the most part. I guess not for everyone, but I think most people are pretty decent people, and having a kid really, you know, changes you, drives you, pushes you. Certainly if you want the kids in your life, certainly if you want to be a parent, it's only going to add to the motivation to do more. So, but now they get to, you know, they get to see their old man having pushed through some, you know, fairly intense shit, and they get to see that life doesn't stop just because you get knocked down. You know, it wasn't like we could put that genie back in the bottle. My daughter was coming. My wife needed me no matter what. Didn't matter that I got hit and hurt and all messed up. I had to find a way to thrive as best I could and get back. And I'll tell you, getting as strong as you can, which is simple, not easy, but it's fairly simple, will do that. It'll make you more resilient. It'll keep you around. It'll keep you on this earth for a little longer, so that you can be with your family, because they probably want you around. I'm a pretty massive jackass most of the time, but you know, your family wants you around. And if your family doesn't, your friends do. Somebody does. All right, 225. So 2 more warm-up sets, and then onto the work set. I got to get real serious here about leg drive, get myself into position as this gets heavier and heavier. Bring my shoulders to my heels. Lock it in. Shoulders back, tuck back. There we go. All right. Woo. A little lightheaded, but that's all right. Means you're pushing. Whew. Whew. Means you're pushing. A couple minutes rest. It won't take too long. But want to get her breathing back under control a bit. Let our heart rate come down just a bit. It's not necessarily going to go back to your baseline, of course, but right after that heavy set, you know, your heart's racing, like you're running sprints or some shit, so. You gotta take a minute and let all that cool down, all that chill out just a bit. So you've got enough left in the tank for the next set. Whew. Minute and a half. So we'll do, what do we got? That was 225, so one more warm-up set at 235. And then on the docket today, LTEs, line tricep extensions, which are fucking awesome. I was doing, so I would like to do dips. Dips are I love doing dips. But I think the dips might actually be, at least in part, what kind of bummed up my bicep tendon. I was doing some heavy dips. Kind of got into some Mike Metzer shit. For better or for worse, I suppose, and was doing just, so what do I have? Oh gosh, I don't know, 115, what would that be? Yeah, 115 pounds set on the, hanging off me doing dips. So, I don't know, what is that? 265 pounds or total body weight, something like that. And they moved pretty good. I did 7 or 8, and it didn't feel bad. I didn't feel any pain, but I think that ultimately might have been what kind of, so anyway, all that to say, as much as I love doing dips, and I'm not totally convinced that they were the actual cause, but as much as I love to do them, I'm gonna lay off of them. And so we got the LTEs, line tricep extensions instead to get some nice tricep work. And I'll tell you, I'm feeling it, man. After I'm sore, which is, I don't get too sore. Honestly, I haven't gotten too sore really in a long time because my training is consistent. I'm not really trying necessarily to change things up all the time. I think, you're gonna get much harder to track data when you do that. So mine is very consistent. By and large, what I tinker with is intensity or weight on the bar. And, volume rep ranges change a little, but by and large, the sets might change, but the reps don't so much, so I don't get too sore. But these LTEs, man, I'm sore the next day and a little bit on that second day. All right. good. That feels good. All right, now for this one, I should probably rest a little bit longer. You'll notice I'm obviously lifting alone. So, you know, the bench is the most dangerous. Simply the fact of the bar floating over your face and neck twice, as you unrack and re-rack, and as it's floating above the neck on the lockout and such. You're in you know, a rough position. So it can be dangerous, but the reality is I've been doing this a long time. And if you set your safeties up properly so that so long as your chest is proud and your form is solid, you don't run into them, the safeties. But as soon as you need to, should you need to, you let things kind of deflate a bit, and you can set them down on the pins, and you're not worried about it getting stuck on your chest. And so that's why that's the other thing. A lot of people don't, whether it's from just not thinking much about it or not really having a whole lot of experience in the gym. Generally, I tell guys and girls, I tell them, just stay away from the machine. What the fuck is it called? I'm drawing a blank now. But bench press or squat, whatever, it's on the cables. You can hook it all the way down. I'm drawing a blank on the damn thing. But you stay away from that, man, because you can't, even if I forget to set the safeties on this, so long as I don't cuff the ends, collar the ends, so long as I don't do that, even if I'm either an idiot or just had a bit of a mental fart and I don't set my safeties up correctly, if that gets stuck on my chest because I can't finish the rep, I can just finagle that thing, turn it over, get those plates to slide off, and get myself out of a pretty nasty situation. But you do not have that. You do not have that ability when you're on a machine that is attached to a pulley system. It's fixed. And so you see these a lot, especially the bodybuilders, and I understand it. It allows you to push. It allows you to go to failure without having the worry of the free weight collapsing down on you. But if you get stuck under that thing, in fact, it just happened earlier this year. At least, I'm sure it's happened. Might have happened a couple times this year, but at least once early this year. There's a story. I think it was in Ohio, but it might not have been. And young guy training by himself gets stuck under the bar, and it's fixed. He can't dump the weights, and he died. And so you're gonna. Bench pressing's dangerous. So you got to set things up so that you're prepared. But at least with this, man, I'm a little more in control of the situation should things start going south. All right, 247 and a half. Paused, 5 reps. Fucker. Chalked up, wrist wrapped up. All right, let's do it. All right, baby, one more. Yeah. Oh, shit. I don't know how my elbows were there. Probably not great. Probably flared them out. But, yeah, whatever. The job is done. And they were slow and heavy, but I think they moved all right. Whew. All right, close grip pause in the books. 247 and a half. And then, you know, technically, since these are all paused that I've been doing for the last couple months, they're all nice PRs. So I think 255 maybe. Actually 250 might have been the close grip. My PR for close grip for a set of 5, I think might be 250. Of course, I was doing that without the pause, and was doing 4 or 5 sets of 5. But nonetheless, now the fun of LTEs begins. So we're working up to 105. So we'll do 2 sets, shooting for 12. We'll see if I get 12. But really the idea is we're working within a rep range of 8 to 12. So, don't necessarily have to get 12. How's the camera on this? Not great. So the elbows, or excuse me, the triceps are pretty warmed up, for sure. I mean, close gripping, paused, that heavy. Well, that, you know, relative to my strength level, it's heavy. So, you know, the triceps are pretty warm. But what I want is to get the elbow joint a little warmed up. But it's pretty well set too. So I'm really just, I'm not going to do too much warming up. You know, maybe 3 sets. These next couple sets here only going to be a few reps. Because I frankly just don't really need to get my triceps warmed up too much more than they already are. We'll see. Really hope this, I'm not screwing this audio up, bumping it on my shirt and shit. All right, so what did we do, 7 or 8 reps at 55 pounds. And we'll do, we did 4 or 5 or something there, 75 pounds. I think I'll do 2 or 3 here at 95. And then we'll rest a couple minutes, and then we'll get after it on the work sets. Feel good. And I was feeling pretty worn down, tired today when I got in here, but heavy bench is done. Almost to work set. I feel pretty good here on these LTs. Oh man, you know, I tell you, if you want to grow your arms, it's about the tricep. I think most people probably know that nowadays, even with all the cringe bullshit out there and terrible advice, but I think people probably understand now that, I mean, if you really want a good looking arm, big arm, you really want to get your triceps growing. You know, that's, most of the arm is the tricep. And, you know, a lot of guys want to do curls, preacher, isolation, whatever. But what they're not really understanding is you got to get them triceps big, man. LTs are good for that. Dips I always like the most, but like I said, that was potentially problematic. So, but you know, if you're trying to go isometric stuff, pull downs, LTEs, although LTEs is not nearly as isometric, but you know, tricep pull downs, press downs, whatever. You know, dumbbell extensions overhead, these things. But you got to be careful. They're a bit. They can be tough on the elbow. They can be tough on the joint. Isolation movement, in general, can be tough on the joints. So you know, you got to just kind of keep track of things and pay attention to the data points you're collecting. But you know, what a lot of guys don't appreciate enough is the bench and the close grip bench. You know, the reality is that, you know, as the triceps have a big part to play in the pressing movements. Bench, shoulder press. And so the reality is if you can do all the isolation stuff you want, but if you really want big triceps, which will, you know, give you big arms, take your bench press from 185 to 315. Don't do anything else. You do that, and you know, you'd be pleasantly surprised with how much growth you see in the arm just from getting your bench press up like that. All right. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, shit. I think that was 12. Oh, my God. I have to go back and watch that, but I think we got 12 there. Oh, my God. It's the one thing I'll tell you. I don't miss at all that burn of 12, 15, 20 reps. You know, I'm a strength coach, and so the way we do things is focusing on force production, right? So we keep the rep range at 5, and we simply increase intensity or load on the bar, and we do that as long as we can. And even though it's not easy, it's hard as shit, you still never really get into that. It's hard, but you don't get that, you don't really get that acute, like, burning and pain. You don't get that sensation of the pump. And so it's just, but damn, dude, 12, 15, 20, it's miserable, miserable. And there's a time and place, no doubt about that. But I don't miss it. It's all I did. And then I found this, so, you know, when I found Starting Strength back in 2015 or whenever that was exactly, you're like, oh, okay. You know, I don't have to do all those fucking reps. And the cool thing was I saw more results that way. You know, and the bodybuilders know this. A bigger muscle is a stronger muscle. So you need a muscle that can produce more force. And you don't get that with You don't get that with doing a whole bunch of sets of 20 right off the bat. You know, all these big guys, they look like any of them really. Who's the guy running it right now? Chris Bumstead, is that right? I mean, I think that guy pulls like fucking 700 or something. You know what I mean? And he didn't get that by doing sets of 20 deadlift at 135 every day, right? He had some period in which he was training heavy, getting strong. And then once you get nice and strong, get a nice frame. What's up, bud? Not much, man.
How are you?
Doing good, buddy.
I got some little pillows for the barbells so they don't clank.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
dude.
You live?
I'm live, bro.
Nice. What's up?
You might be talking to someone at some point, but no one's watching now. All right. One more. Fuck. Oh, fuck. That's good. Should be feeling those tomorrow. Well, stream 2 in the books. This time I'll end it properly. Phone kicked me off. Phone kicked me off last time. So that's it for today. We'll do a few pull-ups. But first clients today should be here in a few minutes, so we'll wrap it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.